What the hell is going on with TGP? The second largest group in the community has failed to put on a non-affiliated game show in 3 months. And when they did run a show, it was their first episodes of non-affiliated programming in over 9 months. In this video, I will be using my experience from working at TRN and TOF to try and figure out what the hell is going on at TGP and what the future could hold for them. Hello and welcome to another episode of a Roblox Gameshow Community Discussion, the recurring series where I talk about the Roblox Gameshow community and the issues, problems, and the things you might not know about it, using my knowledge and experience from being an active developer and producer in the community with about 5 years of experience and a load of shows that I have worked on, including Roulette, Hidden Drop Zones, and Millionaire, to name a few. I had to think about that then. As you can see, I've got a suit jacket on today because that's probably part of the gimmick. And yes, the music that you heard was MTF's theme because it's copyright free. Forgot about that, didn't you? Anyway, today we're talking about Trips Gaming Productions, who are the second largest group in the Roblox Game Show community. They have over 2,000 members at time of recording and opened in March 2020. Which is important because that was just as lockdown was getting in across the world. And as a result of that, they saw a massive, explosive growth, the like of which we have never seen before, and we have not seen it since. They passed 500 members in less than 5 months, and 1,000 within 10. During the first 18 months, you were also able to watch shows like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, Family Feud, and Whammy, the all-new Press Your Luck. So far, so general cliche game show group, you may say. However, they were also responsible for a couple of original shows, for example, Millionaire Danger Zone, which is a co-production with Earthy Television Productions. It lasted 1 season and involved players having to decide whether to play and walk before they saw the question instead of drawing the question. They also had Celebrity Bluff, which involved players guessing who was lying. I think that was a celebrity like entertainment quiz or something like that. If it was the first one, then it was definitely a proto Howie Mandel bullshit. Or pre-Howie Mandel bullshit, basically. So whoever was developing that may want to have a chat with Netflix, I think. But more recently, they have struggled to produce new content and have increasingly relied on affiliated groups to provide the programming. In 2022, the only non-affiliated programming they produced were 7 episodes of Card Sharks, 3 episodes of Risking It All, which was moved from TRN as a result of the closure, and a pilot episode of Roulette. All of that was in the first 3 months of 2022. So when Roulette came back for its full series in 2023, in January, it was the first episode of a non-affiliated TGP series in over 9 months. There was also an episode of Whammy that was meant to go down in, I think it's autumn 2020, I think September, but it wasn't postponed to the following week, but it never actually happened. We don't count that. And to those wondering about Thin Ice and Prize Fight, Thin Ice was a co-production between TGP and Rahaman Productions, as quoted by the announcement poster that was made by Quiz himself, and Prize Fight was a co-production between TGP, Rahaman Productions, and Earthy Television Productions, as per the game's description, which it also does not count. So in total, TGP airs 11 episodes of non-affiliated programming in 2022, and at time of recording, their 2023 count stands at 4 episodes of Russian Roulette, and no activity on the group since February outside of alerts for Arm Productions programming. So, what's going on then? TGP have a group of developers who are willing to work on shows. A post from September 2022 by Mike the Cav, who is on the board of directors and is also a developer for other groups including TOF, did directly mention a German adaptation of Wheel of Fortune that was in development. However, no mention of it has been made since. The most likely reason why TGP have not produced any non-affiliated shows is mostly personal reasons. School, work, university. Basically, that overtakes people's lives, and it is probably the most likely reason why there's been few episodes of new shows. It's also the big reason why you don't see many new shows these days as well. A lot of people go out to do other stuff and want to get on with that. Like myself, I'm getting on with my uni work, though I could possibly go back to the community full time whenever I want it. I don't choose to. Another possibility, though, could be the fact that that developers are also working on other projects. For example, Herzegovian Beast, who works as a developer for TGP on Risking It All, also works for TOF on the $100,000 Pyramid, which has been rumoured to be returning on TOF later this year. As a result, it's not implausible for TGP projects to be shunted to the back of the line for projects elsewhere. Game show developers in the community end up tending to work on at least 2 or 3 projects for different groups at a time. Some of them anyway. I knew I was one of them. So if they see a more exciting project elsewhere, they're obviously going to go for the one that keeps them or excites them. So with that in mind, what does the future hold for Trips Gaming Productions? And there are a few options here. The most likely option, and the one that it will probably continue to do, is its route right now. Rarely producing new shows, or any shows themselves, and letting others provide the bulk of the content. TGP is still the second largest group in the community. Keep that in mind. They're only behind TOF. But it is slowly but surely losing that gap. So TGP may decide that they could say, make it a shop window for smaller groups, like they did for Rahaman and Horizon, who are now both over 1,000 members, and let them produce shows for them, and use the platform that TGP has built over the last 3 years. The other possibility, though, is that they might return back to form. Summer is coming up. People will have time off over the summer break. It's not completely impossible for them to say, get their resources together, get their shit together, and work on a new show and get it out before the end of the summer. It depends though on what the developers are up to, and if they're busy with other projects, and if it's even worth the time and effort to do that show. It's a very difficult one, but it is possible. The final option they have is the most unlikely option, but you never know. It could happen. But with Rahaman Productions essentially producing the bulk of TGP's content, a merger or migration, similar to what happened with Team Game Show Hallway, moving all of its shows to GCW in 2019, that could happen. But it probably won't happen this year. And the reason is that Rahaman Productions is only 1,200 members. If they get past 2,000, which is where TGP is right now, it could totally happen, I think, because Rahaman will no longer have the need to hold or to keep running shows on TGP to expand his audience in that aspect. So it can happen. The final thing I want to consider, and this is away from all the stuff, why they're going down that route, why there's few shows, what their future holds, and that is that it's just really a comparison I want to make, because I think it's a really worthwhile comparison. Is that TGP in its current form reminds me of the final days of TRN, the Roblox network, which I left in August 2021 to focus on my uni work. TRN continued to produce shows until October, when the plug was pulled. Outside of the final episodes of Quiz Doctor's Millionaire Hot Seat, which were filmed, some of them were filmed without an audience, some of them were filmed and advertised and all that, and with an audience, and they aired out and were filmed between September and summer 2022. I can't remember off the top of my head where in the summer that was. Only 3 episodes of Risking It all aired, and the rest of the shows were affiliated. They were TGP's Wheel of Fortune and Millionaire on Rahaman's Productions. So it's a position, especially TGP reminds me of what's happening, like the TRN right at the end of its life, right now, and it's kind of why I decided to do this video. In conclusion, Trips Gaming Productions is between a rock and a hard place. Its reliance on affiliated shows have left them barely producing any on their own, which as a result has slowed their growth significantly. It's anyone's guess what the future holds for them, but I really do hope that we're going to see more from them very soon. Thank you ever so much for watching this video. The next episode of this series will be on TRN shows that entered development but never made it to air. There is some stuff that you will not believe. And there's a few shows there that you'll be very surprised to see, I think. It's all providing us no major news in the community, and if you want to stay notified on all the content that I make, please consider subscribing because I upload daily. And I'll let you guys know closer to when it's ready, when the TRN episode is ready to go out. I'll be on a Sunday in the future. But thank you ever so much for watching. Stay safe. See you soon. Bye bye.